today is Jerry's show.
It is my very great pleasure to introduce Jerry Pearson, a very familiar face to some of us because he's attended a number of workshops. He's a Chen specialist, but this year he's doing Sun style, a convert. What you may not know is that Jerry was a world-renowned dancer and choreographer. He's now turned his special talents to filmmaking, and it is our very great pleasure to see one of his films. Thank you, Jerry Pearson.
I'm very excited to show you, I have a new video. Some of you, it was actually done, I showed it at the workshop at the US in Cincinnati, but I have reworked it, and so I'm excited to have a new video. I also have a new project that I've been working on with Dr. Lam of dancing Tai Chi. Dr. Lam has often asked me, why don't I teach Tai Chi? Why don't, and I don't. And one of the reasons is that I had a 50-year career of teaching, and I taught at a university for 30 years, and I just taught thousands and thousands of classes, and it was just, I wanted to be selfish. I wanted to just take in information. And so I've been loving coming to these workshops, and I've come to so many, but I just grab information and just take it and try to build it into my body. And so I haven't been interested in teaching, and I haven't been interested in nurturing other people to, come on, please learn this, do it, you know. I haven't had that desire. So Dr. Lam said, well, what would you want to teach? And I said, well, I don't want to teach Tai Chi because I don't really teach like you teach. I teach like a dance teacher. And he said, well, you know, maybe you could sometimes teach like a dance teacher. And how is that different? You know, well, number one, you touch people. You know, you make corrections. You feel them. Number two, you do it to music. And you actually do it to music. You count out the phrases so that you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're actually doing it so you have phrases that are longer phrases that create something in space and in time so that your body energy can find out how that's related, that energy of the music. And that the idea of teaching a dancing for Tai Chi type of thing, Dr. Lam said, well, why don't you think about it and talk to me about it, and let's see if we can come up with a way of doing it. So we did a little work together, and we're going to give it a try at the workshop at the US in June. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, just to get this idea out of what it might be to keep that energy of dance into Tai Chi. And it is one of the things that I've noticed with at least my friends in Santa Barbara in California is, why don't I do Tai Chi more? I love Tai Chi, but why am I still sitting on the couch watching reruns of Friends or something like that? Why don't I actually get up and do it? And part of the thing about dance is nice is that you can have the energy, the incoming force that you get can be this music, this incoming force. And so how do you get up? You put on the music. And the music invites you in. It invites you into an atmosphere. And so that then you can relate to that. And you can relate to the music in just like it's an atmosphere of a boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. I get the beat, I get that. Or it can be a direct kind of impulse of as the melody's going, you try to phrase it with the melody. So there's a lot of very interesting things here that we're going to experiment with. And I hope it will become something that maybe we'll bring here sometime. So we'll see what we're doing. It's an experiment, a work in progress. Okay, so one of the things that is interesting about that is in traditional Tai Chi, you're working in a relationship, incoming force, and your incoming force is your opponent. It's a fighter. I mean, I'm working with a Wu master in Santa Barbara, and every time I ask him a question is, why do we do this? And he'll say, well, I can kick you in the crotch. Or, why don't we do this? And he says, well, I can break your arm. And it's like, there's an element of violence about that, an element of aggression. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And one of the things is, you want to win. You want to win. But what are you winning? What are you winning? And if your opponent is a fighter, or if you think it's a fighter, there has to be some sort of defeat. You have to inflict something on them. But if your opponent is your dance partner, what you gain is a relationship. And this video, some of you have seen this before, Meet Mr. Yang. It's about what is your partner? What is your partner? And so let us do, okay, let's make sure this is going to work. See the first video. Yeah. The idea here is what do you need? What do you want? How do we get what we want? And what do you need? We want a relationship. That's what I want. I don't want to fight. I want a relationship. And so my history has been as a dancer, and also is as a dancer, my specialty was partnering. And so when I think of this idea of dancing Tai Chi, I relate it to the idea of, as opposed to a fighting opponent, that it's a partner, and that you're trying to share energy with that partner. And so the sharing of energy, I'm going to show you just some videos of me dancing with a partner, to just show the different kinds of how in modern dance we partner. But that you're totally sharing. You're like one body working together. And that when you're doing Tai Chi too, even if you're thinking about fighting, you're like one entity that's dealing with how the energy is coming in and how the energy is coming out. Whoa, the knee. All right, Tai Chi Film Festival. That's not here. This is the one we did in the, and no, it's not that one. Let's see, Tai Chi Film, no, it's right here. Go. Okay, so it's not practical to try to teach that kind of movement to people. People would, it's like, and I mean, again, that was in my prime. That's a while ago. It's like there's that saying that it was better to be in your 20s in the 70s than it is to be 70 in the 20s. Let's see, how should I move into the next step here? Yeah, okay, so can I have a volunteer? All right, so what kind of, the idea, what sort of thing would one be doing in a class like this? And how would you be touching, each other to learn how to make connections? And then one is the traditional way of just doing push hands. I mean, this is, traditional Tai Chi has push hands, and you make a contact point, and you have a little bit here, and then what you do is you find that contact point, and you try to relate it to your dantian. And if you're doing a cooperative type of thing as opposed to a competitive thing here, what you're just trying to do is, I'm searching down to see if I can feel her movement from the dantian, and she's searching for mine. And sometimes, you're speaking to her and saying, I'm going to move your dantian. Sometimes she says, I'm going to move your dantian. And so you're finding that relationship here. And this sense of touching here is really something that, that can happen through the space. You can feel each other through the space kinesthetically, you see it and do it. But when you actually do touch, it tests a lot of it of how your structure is working. Now, there's a pushing kind of touching where you're pressure, but there's also a kind of touching where you're leaning away. You're actually leaning away. You're taking some weight. And so we call this the teacup here, where that you get your back straight and you kind of sway back and forth like you're inside a big teacup and your back is sliding along there. But you can sort of feel, or you can see kind of look, how the quad is working, and how you get the smoothness. And you get a likeness here that because you're dependent on someone else's energy, you get this feeling of release in the joints. And you have that uprightness of the spine. I hope my spine is upright. It's like when you do these demonstrations, sometimes you see on video there, it's like, but you have, you find that relationship. And that can be, you can do that in a lot of different ways. You can do that if you lean away, and you can just see if you can walk together. And you feel, oh yeah, can I feel? And it's really hard. But it's the kind of thing you practice and you can get better at. And you're actually, what you're doing is you're gaining an ability to, feel each other's energy in a positive way. Now, so what you can do here is that, let's see, I'll step back to the left. Okay. So you have a way, and you can kind of go back and forth, like you just come up and change hands, and you try to get that spine working, the lightness of the quad. And I really try to feel boom. Where is that energy? Boom. And you can combine that then with a push. Coming here, boom, and change, push, and change. And so it's a kind of a dance, and it's similar to like a swing dance or something like that, where you're.
Not that I swing
No,
dance.
I'm just telling her what to do. But you're speaking to each other as if you're dancing, and it's kind of learning what I think Tai Chi is. I think Tai Chi, you're feeling the energy, you're feeling those forces of, like the Pong and the Lu and the G's and all these things, that you're feeling that, and it creates a kind of energy that makes you move with it. There's forces bigger than you are that you create. And if you gain the sensitivity through taking classes like dancing Tai Chi, you can achieve that. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm not going to try to sell this class anymore, but I'm working on it with Paul, and he's been so generous on allowing me to kind of indulge myself in this, and I hope it works. So I'm going to show you my new film. It's a work in progress. Am I actually being amplified?
Yeah.
All right. All right. To calm down here for a second, because I have to narrate this. The narration I haven't put in. So, did you have something? Oh, you're getting ready. Wow! Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. Just so that you know, I'm going to be in USA. You can all come with me. And I'm going to be in his class.
Hello. Yeah, no, it would be fun. It would be fun. In working with Paul, we've had a lot of fun with just trying some of those things together, and it's like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, I'll do that after. All right, here we go. So, we got this. Okay, this might all happen at the same time here, so get ready to turn off the lights. All right. I am an artist. I leave my mark everywhere I go. I draw in the sand and express my truth, my vision of beauty. I follow the shoreline where the land and the sea come together, where the sand is the perfect consistency to draw my spirals, expanding and contracting. I draw a figure eight that turns into infinity, and I encircle it with a larger circle, which forms an ancient Taoist symbol that contains the mysteries of the universe. I ask the sea, I beg the sea not to erase my work, but the waves and the tides don't negotiate. I act as a conductor of the symphony of nature. All of the elements, the land and the sea, heaven and earth, all come together in harmony. I find the forms, try to complete the forms before the sea takes them away. All parts of my life, my thoughts, my emotions, my past, my present, my future, are the contents of these forms. If I just get everything perfect, if I have a perfect balance and harmony, these forms can become art. They got history that can last forever. And I feel this weight. The sea does not accept my offering, and we're washed away. It takes a long time to recover. But I'm ready to start again, and I wait for the music. Let's start again. And again. The dam is about to break. I return again to the shore, where the sand is a perfect mixture for me to leave my mark. I am an artist. Okay. Well, thank you. That was the Australian premiere. You were there. Okay. And I just wanted to show you a little bit of what the Tai Chi will look like when we do our dancing routines. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here we are. All right. That was great. That's it. We're finished.
Excuse me, can I just ask Jerry, is that the first film about the dance and Tai Chi available online anywhere?
The video I've just done, I'll show you, it's not available online because I'm finishing it up and
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in film
But
festivals.
the first one?
The first one is available online.
Okay.
Go to YouTube, look up Jerry Pearson Tai Chi,
Okay.
and I have a bunch
Thank you so much, Jerry. Wasn't that fabulous? Yeah. I have just two observations. One is, did you see the stick? If you don't have a sword, get yourself an appropriate piece of stick, and you can practice sword until such time as you get one. So no excuses for not attending a workshop, especially if it's online. The other one is, Janet and I have both attended workshops in the US, as has Rosalie. Yeah, they're great. We go as students. It's your great privilege to just be a student for the week, and you learn so much, just in a different way of thinking about the same thing. So I encourage you all to participate. Go to the States as well as here.